We're going to open up with a brief statement with Coach, and we'll take some questions after that.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming out. Obviously, really disappointed. About as disappointed as I've been in a while. I didn't, this is not our team. I felt like out of the gates they kind of were the aggressors. It seemed like we lacked some energy, lacked communication, grittiness. I mean, I invite everybody to come out and watch how hard we practice. It's just a different team when we're out there between the lines in practice. And so disappointed, frustrated. We knew rebounding was going to be a big part of this. We allowed them to out-rebound us. I felt like at halftime the ball movement wasn't even close to what it needed to be. I don't know if I've ever been a part of a team that had one assist in a half of basketball. And so our ball movement, trusting the ball to flow a little bit more smoothly, was a concern. We missed, I thought, some shots that in that first half we could have taken out more aggressive than kind of fading from those shots around the rim. And then in the second half I thought we had some good looks. I'm being Captain Obvious right now. Fought hard to come back and tie it up towards the end of that third, and then fouled a three-point shooter, and they had a 4-point swing on us, and I thought that was really hurt our momentum a little bit. The energy seemed a little bit down after that play, which it's already hard coming back from being down so much, and so. A game like this, you can look at a lot of different things. Bottom line is we got work to do. We got to get better, and we'll do that.
Coach, Oral Roberts finishes with 76 points. What do you think made them such a tough guard for your players?
We wanted to play a man. We felt like we had, some size, some athleticism. Our man defense has been pretty good for us this year. It's been pretty disruptive. But we just had a hard time containing them. They did a good job playing with great pace. I thought our zone was a little bit more disruptive, especially early on when we went to it. But we didn't finish, at the level we needed to. And out of the gates, we had 8 turnovers within the first quarter. Like, those are just empty possessions. You dig yourself a hole. And we need to be better in those areas. I need to help our team be better in those areas and understand the importance of playing with pace and ball security. And so ultimately that falls on me, and I've got to do a better job with that. 16 turnovers against a team that doesn't full court press you a lot, token full court man, that's a lot of possessions that you're leaving out there.
Coach, you started the game obviously down and then crawled back to tie it a few times, but never took the lead. How crucial is it to start fast going forward so you don't have to play the catch-up game the whole time?
Yeah, talked about that quite a bit the last couple days based on how we started the previous game. And, didn't like how we were out of the gates in that game either. And we talked about that. We talked about how everybody's prepping. And it's going to look different for everybody, but what's your focus the night before, not only on the scout, but how you show up, and what's that got to look like for each individual. It's a little bit different, but I do know that for us to get things done that we want to get done, that's a huge part of it, is your mental prep. And I don't feel, and again, I'm not in their bodies, I don't feel like we're on point with that right now. I don't like how we're coming out of the gates the last 2 games. Love this team. They're great to coach. Practices are great. Practices are competitive. It's frustrating when we come out the way we did, but we're better than that. We know we're better than that, and like I said, we got work to do, and we'll do it.
And speaking of those early turnovers, do you credit that to sloppy play? Was there something Oral Roberts was doing to clog the passing lanes that was a little different? What would you say that was a result?
Yeah, I think it's my responsibility to help our players understand, just playing with pace, clean footwork. I think we had 4 travels in that first half, 4 travels and 2 turnovers on out of bounds plays that we didn't execute. And so, they come in a variety of ways, but ultimately it's our job to, break those things down in practice and be able to execute better.
You shot a season low from 3 for 16. You're averaging around 40%, but tonight it was 18%. Did you like the looks that you had, or was it just chalk it up to a shooting slump?
I didn't really particularly love our ball movement. I thought, we didn't do a very good job reading how they were defending different screening action. I thought there was some opportunities during their switches to slip cut. They'd shoot the gap and we didn't fade it, and we'd cut right back into the defense. Our alertness, our focus seemed to be a little bit off, and we didn't execute very well.
For Ashton and Grace, Coach has talked a couple games about this discrepancy between practice and games. Can you guys kind of feel that? And if so, do you see any real differences in those?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it starts with just how we come out. Coach touched on it last game. We just came out flat, and that was an emphasis in the locker room coming out into this game. And I just didn't feel like we executed. And as a vet, I'll take the responsibility for that and making sure that everybody can come out and with the intensity that we need to jump on teams early. And like I said, I just didn't feel like we were able to do that tonight.
Ashton, what did you say to the team in the huddle at midcourt after the end of the game?
Talked about how we came out flat. Our two emphasis coming into the game were rebounds and turnovers, and I feel like those were the two things that hurt us. And again, like I said, I'll take the responsibility for that. I led the team in turnovers tonight, so something that just needs to be cleaned up. And we talked about it in scout. Just Oral Roberts in their wins are out rebounding teams, and in their losses they were getting out rebounded. And tonight we got out rebounded. So I think that had to do with the outcome of the game.
Coach, on the opposite end of defending 3-pointers, because obviously it was a rough game for 3-point shooting on your end, but on the other end, Jones and Trammell had a combined 9 of 15 from 3-point range. How do you respond when two players like that, who don't normally get that hot from 3 range, get that hot?
Yeah, I think after they hit a couple, you've got to make that adjustment. Even when we're in the zone, I didn't feel like we were doing a very good job passing around the shooters. Our communication, just the sense of urgency to pass around a shooter. It just wasn't there. And, we've got to demand more out of them in practice in regards to our communication and the sense of urgency they have to do that with. I think the thing that's hard is in practices, I feel like we are just a lot more alert and intense, and we're just not carrying it over. And that makes zero sense to me. So ultimately, it's my job to figure it out and see what we can do differently.
Does some of it fall on the players to kind of take a step up, or are you taking full ownership of that?
I think it's on me. I mean, I'm the leader of this group. It's my responsibility to, put the pieces together and help them figure it out.
Coach, we got to see Tiana Heron play a little bit in that first quarter. What did you see from her in that early stretch, and when did that decision to not go back to her in the second half?
Yeah, I think she had some really good minutes, and that's probably something we missed. We probably could have plugged her back in a little bit. Really was hoping we could get Angie going. She's got the ability to be a really good rebounder for us, and was hoping we could get a little bit more out of her. And then, Hannah plays with so much energy, and but probably missed a rotation in there with Tree. I really liked her minutes in that first half. I thought she did a nice job. She can't play long, extended minutes, but there's certainly an opportunity to maybe get a few more minutes for her.
What did Lania's performance mean to you guys tonight? She and Ashton really kept you guys in it for the most part. So what do you speak about that?
I think Lania can play on both sides of the ball very effectively. She's got the ability to defend. She's has the ability to play downhill. Even though people know she's a driver, she's still got the ability. She's kind of mid-range drive, and that's probably on everybody's scouting report. But I think she does a good job, and typically does a nice job finishing. Pretty typical of what we see every day in practice. I thought she had a big game for us.
Coach, we haven't seen London on the bench for, I believe it's these last 2 games. Do you have any updates on her condition or anything that we might need to know about?
Yeah, concussion protocol.
Did that happen during a game or during?
Practice, and hope to have her back after the break.
We'll take 1 or 2 more if everyone asks. All right, thanks, guys.
Have a good
Thank you.
Christmas.
Thank you, guys.